Welcome back to another episode of Farming Simulator 2013 on the Idaho Map with the Rude Man. I don't know if you can hear it, but my voice is a little gravelly. I picked up a little bit of a cold, so I don't know how long this episode's going to be. I don't know how long my voice is going to last. But I got a couple things to do. And I thought I'd jump in and do them real quick. And I thought I might as well record it. It's not like my voice can get much worse than it usually is. Alright, so let's take a look. I've got stuff moving around on the field. So what I'm doing today is I have harvested field 35. 36 is almost done. I'm working on 37. And I've got combines going on 11 and 26. I finished 7 and 8, 13, 10, and 1. And so I've got these three big ones in the middle here to do, and 12 down here. In the meantime, I've still been moving silage from the BGA to the livestock farm. And, well, speaking of that, let's go to the livestock farm, because I've got some stuff to do there. I found out a little bit more about the animals, and there are, if you notice right here in the chicken coop area, there's two troughs. This one's for water, and this one over here is for wheat. So you need to feed the chickens. And what I did was I set this up. Over on the right hand side of my screen there, you'll see that new it's called Animal Stats, and it's got what my needs are for my animals. And as you see, it shows wheat and water for chickens. And so the sheep also take water. If you remember in I think the last episode, I was joking that it was raining and that the sheep would have to lick the air to get water. So they don't have to do that. I wasn't sure what this trough was over here. This one right here, and what threw me off was this thing here. I didn't know what this was, and I thought it had something to do with that, and I thought it had something to do with silage, because if you look at this piece of equipment right here, it looks just like the one that's on the mixing station. So I didn't know that that was for water, so I found out. I pulled water over here and filled it up. So the sheep have water, and they're fully producing 111%. Don't ask me how they do 111%. I don't know. But they are producing some wool. So let's see what else. One of the things about this animal stats thing is it shows two sections for pigs, and it doesn't show that I have any. So I don't know what's happening there. I do have cows, and let's take a look at how they're doing. These are, well, these are cattle for beef, and of course I have the dairy cattle. But what I don't understand is it's showing the cows, but if you go over to the pigs, it doesn't show I have any. Or it's showing, I don't know what it's showing. It shows two sections for pigs, and I've got pigs. They're eating, they're doing stuff, but it doesn't show up on that thing, and I don't know what's wrong with that picture. So, but it also gives you quite a bit of information. It gives me the wheat and barley and water and windrow that I have, and the manure and liquid manure and all kinds of stuff like that. And it looks like I need to buy more cattle. I only have 10. I have 25 sheep. I should buy more of those. But I can't right at the moment. I will soon, because we've got canola coming tomorrow, and I've got let's see what I've got here in canola. Where's my canola? There we go. Okay, so statistics. All right, this is the I've got a little bit of wheat at the livestock farm, and I did bring some wheat over because I need to feed the chickens. And that's why there's wheat at the livestock farm. This is the main farm. As you see, I got lots of barley. And the canola's growing. I'm still harvesting canola. And I've been harvesting soybeans and oats. So I've got quite a bit of that. And I do have silage left. Don't have any potatoes. I do have some sugar beets left. But if I get that canola ready, it'll be ready for the sale. Let's look at some of these other stats though. Yeah, I got plenty of straw and grass. I got 122 eggs. Let's see what we got here. That's telling me how much of the field I've worked. Beef, I have 25. Their productivity is 40%. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe because I just fed them grass. And it does show on this screen I've got 26 pigs. And they have water and straw and manure and all that kind of stuff. And the chickens are doing 105%. That's pretty good, considering they don't have any wheat. And then, of course, there's the sheep. Oh, they dropped down to 110%. Okay, so let's go over and grab some of that wheat. Feed the chickens. Chicken's good. Alright, where did I put that rig? Where did I put it? Oh, I remember. I think I pulled it over here someplace. Maybe. I bought a new trailer. There it is. I bought a new trailer. This is a cramp kipper. This particular one has been modded. It's a small one, and it's been modded. I got this one. It came with the Canada map that I play, and it's been modded to work the cattle and sheep and pigs. In other words, it's been modded to handle sugar beets or not sugar beets, but wheat and corn and silage and everything you need to feed the animals. So we're going to run in here and grab some wheat. We don't have a lot of wheat. That's about it. That's all we got. Ain't no more. But that'll be enough to feed those chickens. And let's see, which one was it? I think it was the one on the left. Yeah, for one thing, I didn't really see those. They're so small. Those little, well, I don't know how much, how big does something have to be to feed a few chickens, but I didn't really see them before. Now let's see if I can throw wheat in there. Okay. There we go. Now let's open this thing up and see. Okay, what's going on? Unload. There we go. Okay, so it didn't take very much. So, but that's enough for 6 days. So now the chickens have been fed and watered, and I wonder why the eggs are. Did they just stay red because I haven't picked them up? Yeah, that must be it. I don't know if there's a capacity for the eggs, but at any rate, there we are. They've got feed and water. And now the cattle, let's get rid of this wheat. And I was told that that even though I have grass in the troughs, that I can still put silage. in them. I thought perhaps you had to wait until all the grass was gone. I wasn't sure, and I hadn't had a chance to try anything yet. So, and that's why I bought this trailer. I really didn't have anything but those great big huge trailers to work with. Yeah, as soon as I get a little bit more money, I need to buy more cattle too. I don't quite have enough. I also was experimenting with the combines. I mean, you guys saw what I did. Let's see, I want mixed rations, don't I? You guys saw what I did when I tried to do 2 combines on a field. 2 combines on a field using coarse clay did not work all as good as I thought it would. So I stopped doing that, and I still kept two on a field, and I assigned an overloader to a combine, and that seemed to work pretty good. Every once in a while the combine and the overloader might clash a little bit, but not as often as it did when I had the other. Boy, the other, every 5 minutes I was running over here to pull them apart. Excuse me. But what I decided to do is this, and I'll show you as soon as I feed these guys the mixed rations. And I haven't completely done it yet. All right, let's see what happens when I add this mixed rations to the... Oh, look at that. Now these are the pigs, and again, it's not showing anything for the pigs. That must fill the whole thing, the whole building. I think it's cute to watch these pigs roll over. Roll over, play dead. Have any of you had a pig for a pet? I need to ask. We didn't have a pet pig, but I grew up on a farm, not a large farm. It was just a ma and pa farm, and but we had pigs and some milk cow or 2 and some cattle and sheep, and I had horses. I used to break horses when I was young, but for other people they paid me to do it. And it didn't take very much, but at least it took some. So the cattle are now fed. The cows. The steers. Every time I say cow, I think of a milk cow. These are beef cows. I call them cattle. But no distinction there. Just kind of what we grew up doing. But on the farm, we had a pig, and you know, this may sound a little cruel, but I'm going back a few years when people used to raise pigs on a farm. When a pig has a litter, sometimes there's a runt, and these pigs can have many different, big sizes of little piglets. 9, 10. They could have quite a few. But every once in a while, you'll have a runt. I didn't mean to do that. I want to take this back. Every once in a while you have a runt. Well, in the old days, they used to just go out with a hammer and pop them in the head. And everybody's shuddering right now, but that's what they used to do. Because the runt was taking up feed that the other pigs that weren't runts could use to grow. And the runt would run around, and he'd get pushed away by the other pigs, and it's survival of the fittest. And so they didn't want to waste the feed on a runt, so they would pop him in the head and get rid of it. Again, it's the survival of the fittest. But we did that. We had a pig. Well, we didn't do that. We had a sow that had a litter, and there was a runt. And of course we were just kids, and oh, this is mixed rations. I can't put this here. Well, let's just leave that for now. Anyway, we took the runt into the house and fed it ourselves with a baby bottle, and this runt ended up getting pretty good size. Obviously, he's getting special attention. Or she was. It was a sow. Sorry about that. I had to turn the microphone off so I could cough. Didn't want to blow your eardrums out. But anyway, so we fed it and raised it, and it kind of grew up not knowing it was a pig. Now, the hard part about that is living on a farm, you don't usually name your animals, because if you do, you kind of get attached to them, and when it comes to butcher time, you don't feel too good about it. And we were raising pigs to eat, so. But, yeah, there's a lot of things they used to do to animals that people nowadays would shudder. It was like, well, don't you get your beef from the grocery store? I can't imagine, you know, you have to slaughter them? Yeah, well, what I was telling you about the combines was, if you notice, this one's doing 6 miles an hour. This one's doing 0. Yeah, he's done. Okay. This one is also only doing 6. Well, let's see if he speeds up. I can't remember if I have this one set up. Yeah. Okay, now look at this one's doing 15 miles an hour, 14, 15. More than twice the speed. And I think this one is too. So what I've done is I'm experimenting, and I haven't had any trouble. It's been working fine. I take one combine and one overloader and I put them on a field. And I assign the combine, or the overloader, to the combine. And then I go ahead and set up the field with courseplay like I was doing before, when I was attempting to put 2 combines on a field. For some reason, when you run a combine in courseplay, it doubles the speed. They harvest twice as fast. And I think you could probably do that with the ESL limiter, but I don't use that. I don't like it. I've had trouble with it. There are some pieces of equipment that I do have that have the ESL limiter on them, and occasionally I'll use them, but I don't really like them. I don't like to use them. It's just a personal thing. I've had a little bit of trouble with them, and I don't use them. But this way works really good. I'll set this guy up and show you. We'll move him over to 24 and 25, I believe those fields are. I'm going to empty this guy first. Let me close this thing. I had trouble with that. I downloaded that program, this one here. I downloaded this. This is Animal Statistics, or Animal Stats, and I think I have it. I think I have it below in the description with my mod list. I'll check and make sure. But I couldn't use it when I pulled my HUD up, and you know, you've seen me. I don't like leaving this HUD on the upper left corner. I don't like leaving that on the way all the time, because it's overbearing, and I don't need to use it all the time, so I shut it off. And you do that by hitting the F1 key. So you hit F1, it goes away. And but when I installed this program over to the right here, this statistic program, and my HUD here would just go mental. It was just, now you can tell I watch a lot of BBC. Anyway, it would just go crazy, and it was terrible. I thought that had grain in it. It does not. And so I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't use it. It would just it would start. It would open up the bank of Hagenstat and run all the way down the screen and just keep running. It just kept opening it up and opening it up and opening it up. It's just going nuts. So I took that program out, and I had a different program in that didn't have quite as much information. And I think that one was called Animal HUD. And it works well, but it didn't have the information that this one does. So anyway, in the off hours, I decided that I was going to go and find out why that thing was messing up. And at first I thought it was the Bank of Hagenstat, because I have heard that the Bank of Hagenstat have caused trouble for other people. And I've never had any trouble with it, but some people have. So I thought I'd start with that one. So I took the Bank of Hagenstat out, and it still didn't work. So I thought, well, that's odd. So it's not that. Well, I got looking through the load order, and I had 2 PDA mods that I was using. One is called PDA Fix, and that one actually came with this map. And another map that I use. It came with a couple of them, but it came with this one. So a lot of people have this, and that PDA Fix is the one that it adds some things to the PDA, and it also adds this, the prices, where you can see what great demands are coming up in the future. That's part of PDA Fix. And I have another one called PDA Mod, and that one again came with a map that I use. It's also on the I think it's on the Long Castle map too. It's part of that one, if I remember. Maybe not. Maybe it was the Missouri map. There's a map that I have that came with PDA Mod as part of the load order. And so I had those two mods going, and I thought, I've got 2 mods that are affecting the same thing. I wonder if they're interfering with each other in some way and messing up this 3rd mod. So I took PDA Mod out, and Bob's your uncle, everything went back to normal. I put the Bank of Hagenstat back in, and everything's working just fine. There's the Bank of Hagenstat, works just fine, didn't have any problems with it. And the mod works fine, no trouble. Everything works fine. And I decided to leave PDA Mod out. Now, PDA Mod was the one I was showing you here in an episode or 2 back, where it had so many more pages when you opened up the PDA, and you had to use different controls to get more information. And I if you remember watching, I kept goofing it up because I kept thinking I couldn't remember which button to push to make the darn thing work, and I actually had buttons set up on the keyboard to help me out. I have a gaming keyboard, so I programmed a couple of buttons to help me out there. That didn't seem to work too much, but I decided that it was complicated enough, and it's not complicated, but I just had trouble with it, and I decided, you know what, there's not that much information on that I need to make it worth that hassle. So I took it out, and I left it out. So now I just use the one PDA mod. Alright, let's set this guy up. This is field 24. And so I went back to using course play just because it harvests the fields twice as fast. And there's so many fields and they're so big that if you don't do something, it just takes too long to harvest. Alright, what's going on? I need 24. And 20 feet? No, I don't think so. It's 10 feet. We're in the northeast. Northeast, and we're going to go west. And we want to generate that. And then we want to save it. Now what I'm doing different than I did before in the saving is I'm calling this course play CP harvest field 24. Just so I can distinguish these from all the others I'm making, because I'm making quite a few. This guy needs fuel, doesn't he? Okay, so let's run him around, get him started, and we'll go find a fuel truck. Now, the animal stat program that I have up is telling me that my cows need mixed rations or silage. Now, I think that it's talking about the milk cows because, well, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. No, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop. What are you doing? What's he doing? Stop. Stop it. Give me control. Give me control. Did I have... I wonder if I had the offset on this. Let me check. I do. I have offset on it. I don't want that. That must have been left over from when I was trying to do 2 combines on a field. Yeah, let's turn that off. Okay, that was an easy fix. Let's start the course again. And this is CP24. I'm going to resave that. Just... I'll leave it. I'll leave it. Maybe it doesn't matter. Okay, and he's off, and look, he's jumped right up to 14 miles an hour. Okay, so he needs to be refueled. Let's go find our fuel truck. And where are we? We are in field 26. So we need to go north. Then we'll go take a look at the cows. I want to get these animals all fed because I want to find out what it's like to sell the cattle. I want to know what it's like to, because I think that you can sell your own milk. Oh, by the way, on another map, you know those water milk trucks that I was looking at? Let's see, I think they're in miscellaneous. They're weird. I haven't decided whether I like them or not. They don't hold a lot of water, these things. And they have a physics on them so that if you are driving them in third person or with the camera outside of the rig, these things, they go bounce around and up and down, and they make you like seasick. I don't like them. And they don't hold a lot of water. So I have a water rig. See if I can find it here. Yeah, that was probably in miscellaneous too, and I went right by it. I'll bet you it is. I'm gonna take a look. Yeah, this one right here. This crampy water trailer, and if you notice, it's got the Canadian flag on it. This came with the Canada map, and so did this one. Canada Map has animal husbandry on it, and so it comes with equipment to handle that. So this piece of equipment here is a trailer for hauling your animals and stuff. You can haul cows, sheep, chickens, pigs, wheat, rape, maize, barley, grass, chaff, potatoes, sugar beets. You can depend on the fill type. The capacity depends on the fill type. That's interesting. But anyway, so it came with this trailer and this and a couple other things. It came with that trailer that I'm using to feed the silage, and it came with quite a bit of equipment that works on that map, and it works on this map, so there we have it. Let's go find our combine before he runs out of fuel. Is this field 6? I think it is. Field 6 runs into field 25, which runs into field 24, and the knee bone's connected to the thigh bone. Okay, let's catch up with this guy. See, course play, actually, oh, I can't catch him. Come on, let me catch him. Come on. I can do it. I can do it. I'm the $6 million farmer. We got him. Alright, let's stop you. Alright. But he sure goes for a while before he stops. When you do it at course play, they really move. They really notate. So, I have a, you know, I could have used this to get to that combine, because I can jump from combine to combine. I have a subscriber named Dar Smith, and she sent me a comment that she's using this program here and has all hers organized, and told me a little bit how she organized them. Oh, I'm jealous. Mine are not as organized as you would think. I do have all the combines on one button, and I've got all the overloaders on one button, and so I'm semi-organized, yes. But my problem is that I play about 5 or 6 different maps, and if you've been watching me for a while, you know I can be a little airheaded. I don't take things too serious sometimes, and I just play. I just like to play, so I get up and play, and every map is different for me, and so I have every map. I'll use that same program, and I can't remember. Okay, now on the Idaho map, which button did I have the combines on? And so I just willy-nilly set them up. So I'll jump from map to map, and every time I do, that program is set up different on each map, and it just drives me insane that I keep hitting one button thinking I'm going to get a combine, and I'll get a cultivator, you know, or something. And then right then and there I say, you know what, I'm going to fix that. I'm gonna you know, get a piece of paper, and I'm going to write down which button I have in whatever map that I have, and I'm going to copy that to each one. Okay, well, then I get to playing, and then I stop playing and I go have dinner, and I come back and I jump on a different map and have forgotten all about that, and so it never gets done. But it just drives me crazy. So I apologize again for my cold. If you notice every once in a while, the sound will kind of go out. That's I'm either coughing or taking a drink or something. I'm not going to do a very long episode because it's just, my voice isn't very good. But I actually haven't done an episode for several days now. Recorded, that is. And I need to get one up. I usually have 2 or 3 recorded and ready to upload. Well, actually, I get them uploaded, and I just don't make them live. I make them private, and that way, when I get up in the morning, all I have to do is make the video public so everybody can see it. It's already there. But I haven't done anything for several days now, and so I don't have anything published. I need to record. But I'm getting anxious, though, because we've got some new games coming out. Farming Sim 2015 is going to be out before too long. And I'm anxious for that. And that doesn't mean I'm going to stop playing 2013. I probably still will continue on, but I do too many games. But we've got some other games coming out. I got a oh, there's somebody completely out of fuel. I got an email from Origin, and my Sims 4 that I've had pre-ordered for months and months and months. They're going to let me download it and get it ready to play. I can download it early and get it set up. I just can't play it till it's time, but so I can pre-download it, and that's going to be fun. So I'm going to do that this afternoon, maybe, and because I can't, you know, wait for that. I've got I've spent a lot of money on The Sims. You know, you got to have every. I had The Sims 1. I had the original Sims Online, Sims 2, Sims 3. And of course, every single one you got to buy all the all the games for it, you know, all the extensions, and it just they've got a racket, I tell you what. Alright, is he gonna work? He's gonna work. Okay, we gotta get this over and fuel that other rig. Yeah, so I've got all the Sims 2, and I play quite a little bit of Sims. Sims is another one of those games where, I don't know, it's kind of strange, you know, if you think about it. You get up and you go to work, and I don't know, maybe everybody loves their job. I didn't mind my job. I just wasn't necessarily in love with having to go to work. I've been working since I was 10 years old. And, you know, I don't have a problem with work, but I don't necessarily love to get up and go and do it. So you go to work and you do everything you have to do, and you come home and you have to clean house, and you got to do dishes, and you got to do laundry, and all in preparation of going back to work on Monday. And then you come home, and what do? You jump on the computer and you start up The Sims, and you go to work, and you eat, and you cook, and you sleep, and you go to the bathroom, and you have to clean the dishes, and you have to clean. It's almost like going back to work. It's kind of strange. So, but you're doing it for fun. Can you imagine that? Which combine was not running? I didn't look. It must not be that one, because he's running. It's this one in field 37, so it was right where I was already. Ah, wouldn't you know it? That's what I get for jabbering. Alright, so let's head back up to 37. I think we can take a shortcut here across this field. So anyway, yeah, Sims is one of those kind of games that's kind of, you know, it's weird that people like to... it must come down to the human being likes, way back inside, likes to control other human beings. Or maybe they self-consciously don't have a lot of control of their own life in reality, and they enjoy, you know, controlling somebody else's life in a game. I don't know what it is, but there's some appeal to it, and it doesn't appeal to everybody, but I don't mind. I like games, and I especially seem to generate more towards the role-playing games and the simulation games. I play a lot of simulations, and you know, the one I haven't got completely crazy about is the flying ones. I have all the equipment to fly, and I've got all the programming and all that. I just haven't really gotten around to doing it. I watch other people do it. It's very complicated. You know, you might as well learn how to fly in reality. But so I think it's because it would take up almost all my time if I did it. One of these days I want to sit down and do it. You know, I'd like to take the time to learn how to fly. Everybody wants to fly. But yeah, I like simulation games, and I like role-playing games. Now the role-playing games, you know, I'm an avid reader. I read an awful lot. And when I can't read, like I do, I had a commute to work. And every day I spent at least an hour on the road. And so I did, if I couldn't read, I can't read on the road obviously, I listened to audiobooks. And I can't tell you over the years how many audiobooks I've listened to and how many books I've read. But I'm an avid reader, and the thing about role-playing games is, you know, I would read because I didn't have the best of childhoods, and I know a lot of people say that. You know, there were 13 kids in my family, and I left home when I was a little over 13, and was on my own. I had a job out in the fields, in the orchards, and on a farm. And I put myself through high school, and, you know, I managed. I did fine. But there's something about getting away from reality, and reading books did that for me. And then when, of course, computers came along, then I moved over to computer games, and I tended to look at the role-playing games because, and I'm not a big role player. I don't dress up in fantasy. You know, I don't dress up like Link and run around with my, you know, Zelda. I don't do any of that. And you know, I liked Star Trek, but I was not a Trekkie or a Trekker. You know, I liked it as well as the next person, but yeah, I didn't go overboard on it. And I don't with the games either. But that being said, there's something about a role-playing game where you can kind of get in and escape reality and, you know, do things that you couldn't do in real life. You know, fly a starship, or, you know, command a crew, or run a silent, what am I trying to say, submarine, you know. All those kind of things that you can do in role-playing games that you can't do in reality, and you just kind of get your mind off of things. You know, I'd come home and be tired, and, you know, I had to deal with public and whatever it was I was doing at work, and you come home and get away from that. And TV does that for some people. So, let's see, was this guy? He was not. This guy is not set up, I don't think. I think I just had him running. Oops, start him up first. But anyway, that's why I kind of like role-playing games, you know. I don't play them like some people do. I envy these people that get into these role-playing games, and they know all the lore and the background of the game, and well, you know, if I use this weapon, it's got these stats on it, and it will do that to that particular mob, and it'll do that to that other one over there. So if I'm fighting this one, I'm going to use this, and if I'm going to fight that guy, I'm going to switch to this one because it has different stats on it. I have no idea about any of that stuff. That's not how I play. I play for the content of the game. I go into, like, say, the World of Warcraft. When I played World of Warcraft, I played that for 7 years. I still have my subscription to it. But, and so every once in a while I'll get in and just check and see what my, you know, I'll just log on and say, well, yep, my character's still standing there. But here's how I play those games. Talking about World of Warcraft. You can have up to 50 characters. So you can have 10 characters on 5 different servers, or you could have one character on 50 different servers. I had 50 different characters because I wanted to know what it was like to play, you know, as an elf being a hunter. And I can't tell you how many games I've started that way and played. But I want to enjoy the content. I want to explore the world and find new places. And, you know, I want to be the guy that said, hey, did you know there's a cave right over there that nobody knows is there? And I've been there, you know, left my mark in there, as it will. But that's how I play. I don't take it utterly serious like some of these people that know all the lore. And, you know, so if I come in and I've got 2 pieces of equipment on, and some character will walk up to me and say, you know, because it's online, you know, other people can talk to you. If they, you know, you shouldn't be wearing that helmet with that pair of boots. Really? Why not? Well, because they don't go together. You know, it's kind of the same thing in this game, where I was watching a guy that had a John Deere, or was it? No, I think it was a Fendt. He had a Fendt tractor with a John Deere weight on it, and some of his subscribers just went ape on him. You can't do that. You can't have a John Deere weight on a Fendt tractor. And so he took it off. He went and bought a Fendt weight and put it on there. And I said, look, obviously you weren't raised on a real farm. Because, you know, on the farm that I was raised on, you used whatever there was there to use. If you traded your Case tractor in for a John Deere and you had a weight that you were using, you didn't say, okay, now I've got to trade that in and get the weight that goes with the John Deere. You used what you had. And if it wasn't running, you fixed it. You know, I can't tell you how many pieces of equipment I fixed with with a pair of pliers and baling wire and duct tape. And, you know, so I kind of laugh when I hear that kind of thing. And, hey, I'm sorry if you're OCD, but I've got a John Deere weight and I'm going to use it on a Fendt tractor. Sorry, you know. Maybe if I sell some more wheat next week, in game, I'm talking in game, and I can upgrade my equipment, I'll probably do it, because it's kind of nice to see equipment match and everything. But you know, it's you just make things work. That's the way it is. Well, let's take a look, see what everybody's doing. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but through this whole episode, I've had 4 combines and 4 overloaders running, and there hasn't been any accidents. So I think my new system is working pretty good. 1 tractor, 1 overloader, and they seem to be do-si-doing just fine together. So I think I'll continue on. I'm going to call it an episode. My throat's really getting dry here, you can probably tell. And when we come back, we'll finish this up. I want to find out what happens when the animals grow up. I want to be able to sell some of those and see how that works. And we'll get to it. As soon as I get this harvest done, I'm going to speed up time a little bit and see what we can do with those animals. I've just about got all the silage moved over to the farm from the biogas plant, so I'll continue that. In the meantime, I hope you had a good time. Sorry about my cold, but I really had to get an episode done. And in the meantime, have a good day and happy farming. So long.